Juan Carlos Pisano, and I am your teacher of English Adventure. In this class, we have a lot of things to learn, a lot of particularities connected to family members. But it is important that we identify something that, in my opinion, is very important. This month that we just got here is August. In August, here in Antioquia, we have a tradition. It's the month of kites. ¿Sí? Es el mes de las cometas in Antioquia. So we encourage you to go out with your family to make kites and fly them. Go to a hill, go to a terrace, go to a park, but spend time in family in these special months, the months of the kite. Very good. And this is very connected to the topic I have for today. In this session is, this is my family. As I talked to Alejandra a couple of minutes ago, sometimes families can be just your brother, your sister, your father and mother, but sometimes, for different circumstances, your family can be the other members of your family. They are called the extended family. That's what we have here today. Different parts of our family members. So the first goal for today is to review the immediate family members and go beyond by getting acquainted with the extended ones. In Spanish, this would go like this. Revisar, pues, qué tanto sabemos los miembros de la familia inmediata y pues también ir más allá familiarizándonos con aquellos que son de la familia extendida. Primos, tíos, sobrinos, abuelos. Number 2, to identify the kinship or relationship among family members. In Spanish, this would go like this. Identificar el parentesco, apréndanse mucho esta palabra, kinship, el parentesco o las relaciones entre los miembros de la familia. Vamos a aprender a utilizar también un asunto del posesivo en inglés que a veces es confuso, pues todo lo tenemos acá y espero que quede muy claro para todos. Let's begin. Okay, the immediate family members. I would say that this is divided in two groups. When I am single and when I am married. Let's talk first about when I am single, which is, this is me, my brother, my sister, my brother, sister, mother, and dad. This is the informal way we call them. You can say mom. This is sometimes in British English, you can also find it with O. Mom, lo pueden escribir con U o con O. No hay ningún problema. Eso es como mami, mamá. Una forma cercana de decir mother. Dad, dad is father. And you can also say daddy, daddy. Like papito, papá. Okay? No problem. My brother and my sister. Sometimes people confuse the concept of brothers and sisters. It's because in Spanish we have just one gender when we talk about them. Mis hermanos. So we say Camilo and Sofía. But in English you cannot say my brothers because you have one boy and one girl. In that sense, we have a special word that is siblings. We're going to talk about it in the next slide. Okay? This is my family when I am single, and this is my family when I am married. If I am married, this is my wife, I am her husband, and these are our children. Children is another important concept that I want you to identify. Children is niños, chicos. But what happens when, for example, your mother has children of 40 years old or 30 years old? They are also children. No reduzcamos el contexto de children a niños chiquitos. Son simplemente los hijos. Y pueden estar grandototes ya casados y todo y siguen siendo los niños de mamá, por decirlo de alguna manera. So children, en el contexto de chiquitos, de niños pequeños, de boys and girls, pero también children para hablar de hijos, independiente de la edad. Very good. Now, keywords. This is absolutely important. Absolutely important. The keywords is parents, children. Parents, sometimes this sounds like the word parientes in Spanish. No, parents means mother and father. Parents mean mother and father. Children, in this context, refers to son and daughter. Son and daughter. Okay? Or if you want to sound British, you can say daughter. En inglés británico suena más como daughter, father, mother, son. It's not common that I speak British English, but it's okay. Here we have a picture in which we have these four family members: father, mother, daughter, son. Pay attention to these corrections, this emphasis. It's incorrect. It's incorrect. An X. If you say, they are my fathers, Juan and Marcela. No, you cannot say fathers when you have one father and one mother. If you say two fathers, saben, y lo acabamos de hablar en la clase anterior. If I say I have two fathers, es porque vivo con dos papás, dos hombres, mi papá y mi otro papá, y no hay problema. O dos mamás, two mothers, this and this. Nowadays, it's very common, but you have to distinguish the difference. If you say, in this case, it's parents, because it's one man and one girl. Is that clear? The other correction that is very important, pay attention to this. You cannot say, they are my sons, Santiago and Sarah. Santiago is my son. Sarah is a friend of Santiago. But you cannot say sons because you are mentioning a boy and a girl. Si yo digo sons, es porque digo Santiago y Carlos, o Santiago y Juan, two boys. Is that clear? No quiero que cometan el error de hacer lo que pues eso se llamaría una transferencia lingüística, de decir que fathers es papás, como lo hacemos en español, o que hijos es sons, como lo hacemos en español también, para referirse a diferente sexo. Okay? So be careful. Use parents, they are my parents, Juan and Marcela, and they are my children, Santiago and Sarah. Very good. Remember what I told you in the beginning. Parents is different from relatives. Si yo hablo de parientes, no puedo decir parents. Debo decir relatives. Relatives. Mi familia extendida, todos, cualquiera son relatives. Okay? Take notes. Another group of keywords. The first one is siblings, and the other one is spouses. What is siblings? Brother and sister. Brother and sister. When you are in a job interview, for example, or in a school interview, they can tell you, hey, do you have siblings? If I say, do you have siblings, it means that if they are asking if you have a brother and a sister. No te pueden preguntar, do you have brothers? Si te preguntan si tienes hermanos, puedes decir, no, I have one sister. Y estaría perfectamente válido. One sister. Si te preguntan, do you have siblings? Okay, I have one sister. Is that clear? Remember, sibling is the generic word to refer to brother and sister. That's the important thing. Okay, next. It's incorrect to say, I have two brothers, Mauricio and Ana. Mauricio and Ana are my real siblings, okay? Mauricio and Ana are my siblings. So I cannot say brothers because Ana is a girl. In that case, I say I have two siblings. Remember that expression, siblings. Very good. The other group is spouses. Spouses is this one and this one, the group. You can say wife or husband. Wife is the woman and husband is the man. Okay, spouses, you know, in Spanish we say something similar, esposos. Actually, I think that is like an Anglicism. That word came from English. Okay, so remember this. Let's review very fast. Siblings correspond to brother and sister. Si quieren saber si alguien tiene hermanos y hermanas, hay una sola palabrita. Basta con que digan, do you have siblings? Para que no tengan que decir, do you have brothers and sisters? Okay? Very good. And spouses corresponds to wife and husband. Now I want you to help me with this exercise to check comprehension. My immediate family members. My mother is my father's what? Do you remember that in the first part of the class I told you about possessions? Mi mamá es la que de mi papá. Mi mamá es la que de mi papá. Okay? Remember, how do you use this possession? Pones primero el poseedor. In this case, suena horrible ese cuento de poseedor, pero it's the best explanation I can give you. My father's, y luego lo poseído. Suena horrible, pero bueno. Primero ponemos el, que en este caso, my father's, and the complement would be like what is possessed. It can be an object, it can be a person, it can be an animal, okay? The second example, my sister is my mother's. My sister is my mother's what? Okay, let's see the example later. My brother is my parents. My father and mother, what? My brother is my parents, what? And my siblings, this brother and this sister and I, we are my parents, what? We have 4 options. Let's call these options A, B, C, and D. Option A is daughter. Option B is children. Option C is son. And option D is wife. I want you to use 10 seconds to think so we can start matching the options, okay? 10 seconds, starting counting right now. Okay, ready. Let's go with the first one. I want you to help me, guys, from here. My mother is my father's wife. Very good. My mother is my father's wife. So it's option D. Excellent. The second example. My sister is my mother's daughter. Very good. Daughter. My sister is my mother's daughter. If you want me to translate it, it would sound like mi hermana es la hija de mi mamá. Okay? Number 3. My brother is my parents' son. Option C. Very good. My brother is my parents' son. And the last option, my siblings, in this case, my brother and sister and I are my parents' children. Otro error muy, muy común que quiero que desde hoy lo erradiquen del todo de su lenguaje y aprendizaje en inglés y uso frecuente del inglés es la palabra children's. It doesn't exist. Because children is plural. If you want to mention one, it's child. Only one is child. 2 or more is children. Never say again children's, okay? Don't put the S because it's not necessary. Children is also plural. Very good. Now it's time to talk about the extended family. Yes, in the first part we talked sometimes for any circumstances, I don't live with my immediate family, but I live with my extended family, with one of my grandmother or my aunt. I'm going to explain it very profoundly now. Okay, the first part is, let's say that my father, in this case, I'm going to use the example of my father. There is a connection between my father and my grandmother and grandfather here. Let's try to focus on the corresponding reality in my case. This is my father. My father is called Argemiro. Argemiro had a father and a mother. My grandfather on my father's side was called Antonio. And my grandmother on my father's side was called Sofia. Okay, imagine that my father had a brother. That brother is my uncle. The brother of my father, because mi tío is or my father's brother or my sister's brother. Very good. Aquí una palabra importantísima. La esposa de mi tío, decimos en español, es mi tía política. In English, normally we say in-law. We use this expression, in-law. In-law es que no es de mi sangre, pero pues ya es parte de mi familia. Sería como algo así como político, ¿ok? In this case, my aunt is my aunt-in-law. And my cousin is mi primo. Cousin is boys and girls. There is no distinction between a boy or a girl that is my cousin, okay? No difference. Cousin is primo or prima, no difference. Very good. What do we have here? This is me, in this case, as you can see, you. I have a sister, and this sister is married. Mi cuñado, in English, is brother-in-law. Brother-in-law. That is how you express it. But they had two children. Tengo un sobrino y una sobrina. How do you say sobrino and sobrina? Keep it in your mind. Sobrino is nephew, nephew. And sobrina, la niña, is niece. Let's repeat. Nephew, niece. Desde chiquiticos hemos aprendido cómo se dice tío o tía, uncle or aunt, pero normalmente no aprendemos a decir sobrino o sobrina. Ya lo tenemos. Nephew, niece. Si tienen allá en casa un tío, pues denle todo, díganle con cariño, uncle, aunt. Pero si tienen ya un sobrinito o una sobrina, trátenlo con afecto de esa manera. Nephew, niece. Okay, it's time to go beyond and start talking about the extended family members. As you can see here, grandparents, they are divided in two. Grandfather, the man, grandmother, the woman, and this is the granddaughter or grandson. Recuerden que les enseñé al principio que daughter es hija y que son es hijo. A esta palabrita le van a anteponer el prefijo grand y eso ya me lo convierte en nieto o nieta. Así como el grand para father me lo convierte en abuelo. So in this case is granddaughter y si es nieto se dice grandson. Very good. They are connected to one of my parents. In this case, this man and this woman are this person's parents. Very good. Attention. My grandparents are one of my parents' parents. Vean cómo suena esto de raro. Ya lo vamos a traducir. Mis abuelos son los papás de uno de mis papás. It's true. This is the way we connect this in English. Let's try to do it again. My grandparents are one of my parents' parents. Okay? My grandparents are one of my parents' parents. Another group of my extended family, my uncle and my aunt. Okay? My uncle or my aunt. My aunt's husband is my uncle-in-law. Digamos que ella es mi tía, es la hermana de mi mamá. Sí, she is my aunt. Y ella tiene un esposo. Ese esposo, normalmente le puede decir uncle, sin problema, pero en realidad es my uncle-in-law. Mi tío político, por decirlo de alguna manera, because he doesn't have my blood. He's not part of my, he's not part of my blood. Okay, another expression connected to this is my uncle's wife is my aunt-in-law. La esposa de mi tío, ya se cambiaron los papeles. Ahora él es mi tío y ella es la esposa de él. My uncle's wife is my aunt-in-law. Es mi tía política. Okay? That is like the connection that I wanted you to use. And attention to this part. My uncle's or aunt's children are my cousins. Okay? In this case, los hijos de mi tío o de mi tía son mis primos. I don't need to distinguish. Acuérdense que ya les enseñé que sobrino y sobrina sí se distinguen. Niece, sobrina, nephew, sobrino, but cousins, no. Cousins is primos or prima, no difference. Very good. And to finish, my sister, my brother-in-law, in this case, and they have 2 children. They are my niece and my nephew. My niece, mi sobrina y mi sobrino. Don't forget these words. Or it can be the opposite. No, ya resulta que ella no es mi hermana. El hermano mío es él. Tengo es un hermano, no una hermana. My brother and my sister-in-law. Mi cuñada is my sister-in-law. Don't say law, it's law. Law, my sister-in-law. Okay, here, if I am your uncle or aunt, you are my niece or nephew. Si yo soy tu tío, tú eres mi sobrino o mi sobrina. Like this, okay? Now it's time to go to a recess so we can practice and identify the different elements that I have here in the practice time. Some exercises that I want you to practice with me. Look at this. I'm gonna leave it like this so you can start checking it before we practice them after the recess here in English Adventure of Profes Melos. Okay?
Unidos. Gobernación de Antioquia.